What's good, man? It's your boy Sean Kingston. You already know. You know what I'm saying, on the set of Beautiful Girls. You know, we here and we partying like we always do, like rock stars. You know what I'm saying? We getting it popping, man.
Back in 2007, Sean Kingston was on top of the world with one of the biggest songs of the decade. But today, he's sitting in federal prison on fraud charges.
And good afternoon, Your Honors. Officer Zamek appearing on behalf of Sean Anderson.
So, what happened to Sean Kingston? How did a teenage superstar go from platinum records to prison cells? And what shocking role did his criminal mother play in it all?
An altercation with singer Sean Kingston.
And they changed franchise's name to Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston's real name is Sean Anderson. He was born in Miami, Florida, but raised in Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. His grandfather was Jamaican producer Jack Ruby. But it wasn't family connections that launched his career, it was the power of YouTube. At just 16 years old, Kingston was discovered on the platform by an associate of producer J.R. Rotem.
Sean Kingston was the first artist signed. He was like an underdog, and he took a chance on us. Like, we brought him Sean Kingston. It's not like there was a bidding war for Sean. It's not like every label wanted to do it, but he was like, I get this. Let's do this.
J.R. was responsible for all of these songs. Rotem signed him to Beluga Heights label, and what happened next was nothing short of magical. A songwriter on Sean's album later said this about it.
So JR had sampled Stand By Me, and franchise went in with this guy Sly, and they wrote this chorus called Beautiful Girls. It was actually called Suicidal at the time, eventually became Beautiful Girls. And overnight, they decided to change the entire franchise rap album into a singing album because this dude sang and they didn't realize that he could sing, and they changed franchise's name to Sean Kingston because his name is Sean Anderson and his family was from Kingston, Jamaica.
That's insane.
Beautiful Girls dropped in 2007, and it was a massive record, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topping charts worldwide. At the time, Sean was 17 years old and having the biggest song in the world. That was Kingston's new reality. His self-titled debut album followed that summer, peaking at #6 on the Billboard 200 and earning gold certification for over 500,000 copies sold. Suddenly, this teenager from Jamaica was opening for pop superstars like Gwen Stefani and Beyoncé. He had achieved what most people dream of while still being in high school. In 2009, he released his second album with the #1 song, Fire Burning. After that, he co-wrote Jason Derulo's debut single, What Ya Say. Kingston wasn't just a singer, he was creating massive songs for other artists too. By 2010, Sean Kingston was at the height of his fame. He collaborated with Justin Bieber for Eenie Meenie. This became a global hit and introduced Kingston to an even younger audience. By his late teens, Kingston had what most artists spend a lifetime chasing: platinum hits, superstar collaborations, and sold-out performances on the world's biggest stages. But behind the success, the cracks had already started to show, and it had everything to do with his own personality. But in 2010, serious things happened that would lead to Kingston's downfall. A 19-year-old woman accused him and members of his entourage of sexual assault after a Seattle concert. Kingston denied any wrongdoing, and no criminal charges were filed due to inconsistencies in the accuser's story. The woman filed a civil lawsuit for $5 million, which Kingston ultimately settled out of court in 2013 without admitting guilt. But the real setback came in May 2011.
Singer Sean Kingston is in a Miami hospital after crashing a jet ski into a bridge. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says Kingston and a female passenger were injured when the watercraft hit the Palm Island Bridge yesterday.
He was left in critical condition with a torn aorta requiring open heart surgery. Doctors initially gave him only a 10% chance of survival. Kingston did recover, but the accident sidelined him for months during a crucial period in his career. The momentum he had built was interrupted, and the music industry moves fast. After surviving the jet ski crash, Kingston attempted to reboot his career, but he struggled to match his early success. His third studio album, Back to Life, was released in September 2013 after numerous delays. The album failed to chart on the Billboard 200, a shocking fall from grace for someone who had dominated the charts just years earlier. Around this time, Kingston became better known for scandals than for new music. In 2015, a New York jeweler won a $356,000 judgment against Kingston and his mother after they failed to pay for luxury watches. The incidents kept piling up. In 2016, Kingston was beaten and robbed of a $300,000 chain during an altercation at a nightclub. In 2017, he got into a brawl with the rap trio Migos in Las Vegas.
Yeah, video from inside Sands Expo shows the rap group and Kingston greeting each other before yesterday's incident. Police tell us that the two groups got into some type of argument and that spilled out into the parking lot and then it turned physical. That's when TMZ reports someone pulled out a gun and a shot was fired.
Multiple lawsuits for unpaid luxury items continued to hound Kingston. The pattern was always the same. Kingston would acquire expensive items but dodge the bills, leading to accusations of fraud and theft. By 2020, a warrant was issued for his arrest in a grand theft case involving unpaid jewelry. Footage of police camera showed this.
So what happened is this rapper, Sean Kingston, took some jewelry from a customer of mine out of Philadelphia, and then she's telling me that they pulled a gun on her because they slammed the door on her finger, and she was bleeding.
They didn't let her get out of the car.
Yeah.
Why didn't she call the police then?
Right, she was scared.
So who was the one that actually pulled the firearm?
Sean Kingston, like, he had the firearm.
Sean Kingston's biggest scam happened in late 2023. For 6 months, he and his mom, Janice Turner, tricked people out of more than $1 million in luxury items. They found sellers on social media and invited them to Kingston's house, pretending they wanted to buy. To seem legit, Kingston even claimed he could make a promo video with Justin Bieber, though they hadn't worked together since 2010. After sellers dropped off items or installed things like a giant 232-inch TV, Kingston or his mom sent fake wire transfer receipts as payment. When the money never showed up, they just ignored the sellers. They stole big-ticket items like a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade, expensive watches, jewelry, and even an $86,000 custom bed. They lived like royalty without paying a dime. The fraud unraveled in May 2024. A SWAT team raided Kingston's South Florida mansion and arrested his mom.
It was there in South Florida that his mother, 61-year-old Janice Turner, was arrested on fraud and theft charges. Turner and her attorney appeared before a judge Friday morning. She faces 8 charges, including grand theft, fraud, and organized scheme to defraud.
Kingston was picked up hours later at a concert in California. 2 months later, a federal grand jury charged both of them with conspiracy and 5 counts of wire fraud. Each charge carried up to 20 years, so Kingston was staring at decades in prison. In March 2025, a Florida jury found them guilty on all counts. On August 15, 2025, Kingston was sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison plus 3 years of supervised release. His mom got 5 years. So, what happened to Sean Kingston? He went from teenage star to convicted felon at the age of only 35.